Hello everybody and welcome to this afternoon's live safari. As you can see behind me, we've got the two cheetah boys enjoying the shade. We just rocked up here as we went live, and we have fence and line. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Gareth, and we are broadcasting from the Rietspruit Game Reserve. It's been a hot day here in the Lowveld of South Africa, and these two boys have pretty much been lying here in the shade all day. They made a kill not too far from here this morning, and then they wandered here to one of their favorite patches of shade that I know. I've seen them here quite a few times in the last 2 months that I've been with Painted Dog. It's nice to catch up with them again. Although I think you all saw them yesterday with Victoria. But it's nice for me to catch up with them. And yesterday they were looking a little bit skinny. But this morning's meal means that they have full bellies. And if you just look at that belly of that cheetah that's lying in front of us there, you can see that respiratory rate is really high. It's a hot day. They're digesting that meat from their impala kill this morning. A lot of metabolic heat that they're trying to get rid of. So there's that panting. And like us, they don't sweat, so they pant to get rid of excess heat. To our pack members, welcome this afternoon. Carol, Willow, Barbara, Mary, Betty, Andrew, Jan, Christine, welcome to this afternoon's drive. And to everybody else that might be watching, welcome. It's a nice way to start a hot afternoon, sitting with two male cheetah in the shade, just like them. The last couple of days have been really, really warm. And we are anticipating some cooler weather to come later this week, starting tomorrow. It will be nice to have a bit of a break from what we're currently experiencing. Oh, there's a broad-billed roller. That's awesome. Look at that, look at that. Come land on the... Oh, there we go. Basil, you've got to get that one on. Sorry, Basil's all attached to the frame on the wrong side, but we've got a broad-billed roller. That's rolled in. That is really, really special. These are super cool birds. I thought I heard them. Look at that. That's a good bird, everybody. Good bird. They do like sitting on power lines, which isn't the greatest for photography. But welcome. They're very chatty. There's two of them, a pair. Do you see them here often, Basil? No. Not? That's cool. They're arriving back. Just going through the comments here, seeing if I've missed anybody or if anybody's asking anything.
How about now?
Well, it looks like while we're getting temperatures of 40 degrees here in southern Africa, the snow is starting to fall and there's rain.
Madoda Ngala, here by Bush Camp. Static only one Madoda Ngala.
Hello, Matthew. What's got this male cheetah's attention here? Hi, Becky. So while we sit with these two male cheetah, it's probably a good time to introduce this week's key word. And no, it's not a leopard. And the key word is not miracle. The key word this week is line, and it is a photograph that Basil took this morning of the male cheetah with the collar. Good afternoon, no updates, well, cancel. There are rhinos at Hippo Dam, and there's one leadwood station on Blowbank, I think. And then stations I just located the two male cheetah on the southern end of the Hayes airstrip. They're stationary. Oh.
Hello, mobile, copy the update, thanks.
Apologies. In addition to that, there's a male line around Boscombe. So yeah, if you want to get your hands on that photograph that Basil took this morning of line with his collar, send the keyword line to info@painterdog.tv. There weren't many takers for the guinea fowl helmet photo of last week. If you didn't receive it today, please do let info@painterdog.tv know. We did have about 1,000 emails last week because somebody got a hold of our email address and decided to flood our inbox with non-useful information. So if your email didn't come through and you didn't get a picture today of the helmeted guinea fowl from last week, do let me know. Your email may have been lost in the spam that we were receiving. That issue has been resolved. Ever vigilant. Hi Elsa, welcome. There we go. Carol's got her guinea fowl photograph, which means that email did go out. If you didn't receive it, I didn't get your email. Or it got lost in the flooding of the inbox. So just send it again, give you another opportunity, just because of that issue we had last week. Do apologize if you did send the keyword last week and you haven't got your picture. But this week, on the requests of a picture of Lion with his collar, we have answered the call.
Especially I'm putting out of these one Madodangala. Just here on the water hole, Boskamp, just static there, open lock.
These two boys are not going to be doing too much. It's nice to have started with them. And in the process of starting with them, we've got the two broad-billed rollers, which is very exciting.
They are slumbering down towards the outflow.
So we'll spend another 5 minutes with them. Enjoy seeing them. And then I think we'll carry on. See what else we can find. It is a hot day. So as the day carries on, and closer to sunset, I'm sure our little water holes and watering points will be a hive of activity as animals come to drink, such as rhinos and the ever-present duiker.
Afternoon, there's one network station on Blaubank, rhino sighting at Hippo Dam.
Everybody's standing by for their afternoon game drives at this time, waiting for it to start cooling down, and the radio has been a bit busy, so I do apologize if it's a little bit overwhelming at this point. It should get a bit quieter. Yeah, I need to actually add these broad-billed rollers to my list, which is pretty dismal at the moment. But now with the arrival of the migrant birds in full swing, hopefully my list will start increasing. Broad-billed rollers are an inter-African migrant. They go up to sort of the Horn of Africa during our winter months, across to Ethiopia and southern Somalia, that area. And then they come down to southern Africa for our summer.
Gareth coming? Stand by. You can go.
Okay, I think we'll leave these two boys to enjoying their snooze in the shade. It's super hot, and if you're only joining us now, you can see that it's hot because of that respiratory rate. It's really high as they're panting, trying to get rid of excess heat. Got a lot of metabolic heat at the moment. They had a kill this morning in Impala, not too far from here. And it's been a day around the high 30s, may have touched 40 degrees around the peak of the afternoon, like 2 o'clock. But can't imagine that they would do too much this afternoon because of having that kill this morning and it being really hot. So can go out and see what else we can find. Maybe we hit the water points on a bit of a journey this afternoon. Maybe try and find the elephants, those naughty elephants of the Rietspruit.
Number 2.
Yeah. Let's carry on. Not a bad way to start our week, is it? Sitting with the 2 male cheetah. We'll see. If we're having a bit of a quiet afternoon, we might pop back here before the end of drive and see if we can get them moving about. But as you can see, they're not going to be doing too much. He's trying to go flat out. Let's go here. I'm glad I started here. I wasn't going to start with them. I thought I'd end with them in case they get active later. But I started with them and we got those broad-billed rollers. Very excited about that one. They are monogamous and they nest in cavities. They do like them power lines. I wonder if this is their spot and they've returned. Pairs will often return to the same spots year after year where they've had success in breeding. Looks like we might have had the elephants in this area recently. Broken trees are a really good indication. Some giraffe tracks. Those are the cheetah tracks. I got excited for a second. If you weren't with us yesterday, Victoria set us all up for a November in the sense of knowledge. No, spelt K-N-O-W, November. Trying to share a little bit more information. K-N-O-W, Vember. November. Kudu bull not wanting to stick around too much. It might be a bit confusing as November because there's not much difference. Knowledge November. So hopefully I've given you a little bit of knowledge at the start of this drive with those broad-billed rollers, because I'm going to get back in the textbooks. I might bring Pathfinder out with me because I think a few of you have got it since Victoria first used it as a reference with her digestion drive that she did quite a while ago now. I really want to go in here and have a look at what those lions potentially had on that kill for a few days. We were unable to access it by car, and I wasn't really willing to walk in there. Walking onto lions and a kill when you know that it's there is not really the brightest idea. There's some duikers, but now that it's been a while since they've left, it's probably safe to go in there, try and find out what they had, try and confirm if it was indeed a giraffe as we suspected, because they were there for 2 to 3 days. There's only a couple of things that would last them that long, and I think the only real plausible one would be a giraffe. If it was an elephant, we would have really known about it, and if it was a rhino, I think we would also know about it. Without buffalo here, and knowing that the lions do like giraffe, I'm pretty confident that it was, but I think I might go on a little stroll tomorrow and try and find the remains of the carcass. Things like skulls will stay around, so the bigger bones. We don't have a big hyena population here, so most of it should still be there. Okay, Impala's not wanting to play around, they don't like the camera, camera shy. There are hyena tracks here, having said that. Probably from last night, going in the other direction. Okay. Okay, some people saying they haven't got their pictures, so Victoria at FC will take note of those. See, Barbara hasn't, maybe Becky as well. Hello Rosemary, welcome. Broad-billed roller. Broad-billed. Oh. Oh, you saw them around Mumba Dam last year, Carol, so I'm sure it's the same pair that's returning because we were on the power line on the Hayes airstrip, so that must be their spot. Yes, Betty, it's kind of an entry level book, but a really good one because it covers so many different topics. That's Pathfinder I'm talking about, everybody. It's a great resource, especially if you want to get an entry-level understanding of most topics: climate, geology, grasses, trees, a little bit on birds, mammals, individual mammal groups, ecology, biology, astronomy. Which way do we want to go? Should we go up Seskan? Yep. So when you're starting out, it's a good spot to start off from, and then expand and broaden the horizons. Trying to think of what other birds are migrants that are monogamous breeders. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. A little bit of a quiz for this afternoon. Other migrants to southern Africa, birds we're speaking of. That are monogamous breeders. Oh, some greenwood hoopoes. Off they go. I won't pester Basil to try and get them on camera, as they're gone. Victoria's sister was with us for the weekend and she was saying, I'd like to see more birds on camera, to learn more about birds. It's not often the easiest subject to try and get on camera and for them to sit still long enough to get a good view on them to explain things. But we will try better because I know a lot of people do like birds. I enjoy birds, but they are challenging at the best of times. Often when you go on birding trips, as soon as you get your binoculars up, whoop, the bird's gone or it's jumped into a spot you can't quite see it. So with a big camera, it's even harder to pinpoint where they are. Oh, it's really bright, that sun. old rhino tracks here. They've been driven over.
North of the fence line, static. To the location of the Cheetahs, about 12 minutes out.
Oh, it's so dry.
Rain can make your way.
We really need some rain out here. It is that time of the year that the rain should be expected. It looks like we should be getting some rain now this week and into the weekend. You often get this really hot build-up to cooler weather, and that often brings rain. I'm yet to see a black rhino. That's why I was a little bit hesitant into which direction to go, but I thought best check the reservoir for any signs of the elephants. Otherwise I would have gone down to Lemonduring Crypt. Some more impala, but they're moving off into the thick stuff. But the forecast for rain isn't so great for the coming week. It kind of only has us getting a few mils of rain, which is not ideal. We need more than at least 10 mils, 20, 30, 40 mils over a few days so it can soak in and not just evaporate straight back up or run off. And ideally you want some nice sort of soft 10 mils of rain, 20 mils of rain, so everything has the opportunity to soak it in. If we get these downpours, often just results in the water running off the top of the surface of the ground. You kind of want the rain to soak into the sand, the top layer of soil, get the grass growing, and then you can have these big downpours where you get a lot more rain in shorter periods of time, because there's at least a little bit of structure in the vegetation to help reduce runoff. So it would be nice to have 10 mils over the whole week, maybe 20 mils over the whole week. That would be great, but the forecast at the moment only has us getting maybe 5 mils the whole week, and the weekend maybe a little bit more. But the forecast is often wrong. So I'm hoping that it's correct in the cloudy and rain, but incorrect in the amount of rain. Okay, let's go check Kudu Krip, although I think it may be a little bit earlier, but then I want to just work around the Sunsloot River. maybe go on to the other side, explore a little bit. No sign of elephants. Where is my YouTube? What characters are at Cutie Crip? There's some rhino tracks coming here, but I can't see any. Quite a few birds. I'm going to park us in the shade and maybe we'll just sit here and look at some birds coming down for a little bit to the water. How's that, Basil? You can hear an acacia-pied barbet calling. Carol, you're correct. Wahlbergs. They're a migratory bird that comes and is monogamous.
Sharon's coming.
What do we have there? An emerald spotted wood dove. Emerald spotted wood dove. There's some starlings bouncing around at the back in the trees, a little bit too far. Here comes a little squirrel. There's some ring-necked doves here as well. Right of the crypt, there was a squirrel, but I think now it's gone out of sight for Basil. But there is a ring-necked dove. Oh, on top of the crypt. There it goes, coming to have a drink. How about that? All the birds are drinking on the sort of overspill that surrounds the crypt. I thought this little squirrel was going to do the same thing. However, it jumped up onto the top and decided to lean in, get the fresh stuff. Why drink the stuff that's been puddled in the sand? Yep, off it goes.
All stations, I've got one vulnerable here on the Hippo Dam. He is
We
to drink some water.
went out last night. I thought it was good conditions to try and find leopards moving about. Hot. Come to a crypt, have a drink, maybe we'd get lucky. We didn't see a leopard, but we saw 3 civets. One of them was here at Kudu Crypt having a drink, and we saw a porcupine, so that was pretty cool. Came out with Victoria and Francie, Victoria's sister. The squirrel's back. Have another drink. Oh, off it goes. Dashing across the open ground like that, trying to get to more cover. Never know when there's a bird of prey that's watching. Swoop in and snatch that up. Got to make a dash for it across the bare sand. Must be quite risky for small animals like that. Well, it is. Quite often around water points you get this effect where, especially when there's elephants, the bush becomes really thin, and often it's quite barren towards a water point. As you can see, there's lots of sand here as animals constantly move in from all directions to have their drink. They would have fed on the grass close by the water, and then just the trampling and the constant movement of animals into this area and out of this area means that very little grows. So your smaller animals, especially like using that squirrel as an example, would be quite exposed coming down to have a drink. And the threat of a predator is very real when you've got no cover to conceal yourself or to hide in. If you do get wind of a predator making an approach or an attempt on you, there's nothing to really conceal yourself or duck behind, change your direction, throw the predator off. So that squirrel was pretty wise and running, making the dash. Betty, we didn't see the porcupine on drive. We just came out later, like 8 o'clock last night, on a kind of a leopard searching drive, because we think that's our best opportunity to find them and try and spend time with them and get them more relaxed. But it's
north of the fence line here by Hayes on Airstrip.
We've been doing it for 3 weeks now. Not every night, but some nights. And
Level 1 station on lock.
haven't come right just yet. Basil, above the crypt on this tree, there's quite a few birds. I don't know if I know there's starlings, but is there a different starling species there? Just want to check. This green tree, right? Above the hide.
Is coming?
Over there, yeah. What is that? Oxpecker. And what do we have here? Are they glossy starlings or greater blue-eareds? Looks like glossy. I can't see the dark ear coverts, or maybe it's difficult it looks like it's greater blue-eared. Although when it puts its head the other way, it doesn't. It looks like a glossy starling. So similar. Cape starlings and greater blue-eared starlings. Greater blue-eared starlings have that little blue ear covered, so patch around the ears, behind the eyes has got a blue color to it. And there's some red-billed oxpeckers having their drink.
Terence coming. Lunenburg. Armbar.
Oh, there are flies all around me right now. Buzzing around. Not a lot of other birds. I thought when we first came here, there was a fork-tailed drongo sitting here, which we didn't manage to get onto camera. I thought we'd also get little yellow-fronted canaries. They're quite often around these water points. I keep hearing an acacia-pied barbet. There's another squirrel coming off the road here. See, it's going to make the dash. We're testing Basil here, watching these squirrels as they dash across the road. Oh, in the shade, close to cover. It's a bit safer now.
I have an elephant pool. East of Rietspruit Dam along the first side.
An Ellie bull east of Rietspruit Dam. Let me check. What are my plans? That's quite far from us, not too bad. I was thinking of going around there and playing around on some roads that I don't normally drive on. That squirrel doing, just eyeing out the water, making sure there's nothing dangerous there. Alright, not a lot of other little animals coming here, or birds, just the usual customers. So I think let's carry on. Maybe we do go across to Rietspruit Dam. Let's go past Boskamp and see if we can find the male lion that was there and see who it is. Starlings coming for a drink. There's some Cape turtle doves, or ringneck doves as they're now known. There we go. Beautiful. And as quick as they're in, they're out. I think it was the other day I was talking about the landscape of fear and the effect that it has on animals, particularly around water points. It's probably one of the most fearful areas that there are. Just because of the nature that predators know that prey will always be coming down to that spot, water points, and they can spend time there and capitalize on the amount of animals coming for a drink. I wonder if there's more elephants where that bull is. Which is the station that had the male lion around Boskamp. Does anybody know where that male lion is left? A better location rather than just Boskamp?
Under the image he was at the water hole at Bushveld.
Copy, thank you. Let's go past there and have a look, see if we can find that male lion. I doubt he'll be doing that much. Oh, there's this couple of bones. Nothing fresh. Which way, Basil? I haven't spent a lot of time on this side of the reserve, so... Rhino tracks coming up here. I wonder which male lion it could be. Is it Elvis or is it Kinky Tail? What's everybody's bets on? Yesterday they were around Leopard Dam with the Pride. Although I think Elvis hasn't been seen for a few days because he's been away. Up on, I think, Leadwood. Oh, here's a little nyala. Huh? Not the smallest of nyalas, but a little one nonetheless. With his mum, or her mum, you can't tell at this age, before they start showing those changes in their colour, start getting those horns. Welcome, first school of life, Janine. That is a little male. I didn't see his horns earlier. Is that the same one or is that a different one? Different one. Ah. Oh, the elephants are going towards Sequoia Dam. There's two. That could be a lot of fun. Oh, there's the little one.
7 minutes responding there. I'm also responding to that. I should also be about 5-6 minutes out. I'm also responding to the elephant, so I'll be there in about 7 or 8 minutes.
Hello, Brian.
You make your way. Can you repeat the...
Yes, Mary. Elvis was mating with Nialeti in the northern parts of the reserve, Leadwood area. So I wonder if this is Kinky Tail that's here.
All stations, the Pride is also here at Rietspruit Dam. Did you say the elephants are here at Rietspruit Dam?
The Pride is also at Sequoia Dam. So everything's happening.
If you come along the fence line, the Nyala route, the Sipi route, heading towards Sipi Dam, along the fence line, they are 100 meters in the block but the visual is 2 out of 5. Copy, thank you.
And the nyalas go off. So I think Sequoia Dam is going to be a good option for a little bit later. The elephants are still quite far. They're not far from the fence, but they're heading in the direction of the dam. But the lions have just been found at the dam. But a lot of people were interested in the elephants making their way down towards Sequoia Dam. Don't blame them, it'd be fun. There's still quite a bit of water. So you find that elephants might go and swim and have a good time. So maybe we'll try and get there a little bit later. Let everybody else sort of go through and then we can slot in, hopefully when the elephants get there. Just see if we can see this male lion at the waterhole here at Boskamp. Hot days, water, elephants. Lots of fun. Here's Kevin and Greer going on their afternoon drive. Just slow down a little bit. Can anybody tell me what Andrew likes to say when he gets caught behind people in the dust? He always says it. Anybody tell me what Andrew likes to say when he gets caught in the dust? Particularly when behind another vehicle. And it's probably the reason why I am slowing down. There's not a lot of wind this afternoon, so the dust is just hanging above the road. There's the Boskamp airstrip. And there's the male lion. It looks like he's up. Is he up? I don't know if there's anybody home. What do you say? No. Oh, he did have his head up. Oh, there's both of them here. There's two lions here. Maybe this is, are they brothers? Have they linked up? Or is this? It looks like it is both the boys. quite nice. Basil. A squirrel alarm calling at him. This looks like Elvis. His tail looks fine. Also, he doesn't have those cuts that Kinky Tail has on his face. I wonder now, since he's been mating with Nialeti, if these two are friends again. Because there was a lot of scrapping going on between the two of them. So this is Elvis.
I'm putting out from the elephant herd along east of Rietspruit Dam. They are slowly making
And
their
then
way
Kinky Tail is lying just down the little slope there.
You still have a visual there. I still have a visual, but I'm pulling out. Okay. I'm here by the dam wall here. I'm coming south, so I'm going to take that road that goes towards the fence line.
Nice to see both the boys
Yeah, so we're on that road that leads to the fence line. The elephant
together and friends.
coming into the road now.
Hello Jennifer, welcome.
Copy that.
Oh, these time changes keep catching everybody out. Doing what lions do best. There's an unhappy squirrel, I'm sure, shouting at the lions. I wonder if Elvis had been having a drink and then he walked up a little bit further onto the top of this little slope that he's almost perched on before going flat again. Because when we first sort of got visual of him, it did look like he was standing. Also, look at that belly, just like the cheetahs that we had at the beginning of drive. Fast respiratory rates, panting, getting rid of all that heat from a hot day like today. So everybody needs to mark down the last week of October as the week that Elvis and Nialeti were mating. And then who can tell me when we can expect to have cubs if they were successful in what they were doing? It would be pretty exciting to have cubs on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. What is the gestation period of a lion, and then when would we expect Nialeti to have cubs if they were successful?
And it's the Sickwe Crow spot. That's just to the south of Lowveld. Sickwe Crow spot, as far as I know, links the dam spillway to Nyalarita. Okay, that might be Nyalarita. It's on my map. It's Sickwe Crow spot, but it's really just about 100 meters from the fence line. Yeah, copied. I'm sure. So Sickwe Crow spot just links up to Nyalarita. Nyalarita goes from the eastern fence to the southern fence.
I don't know who had a role in naming Elvis. I just know that it's Alvis and Kinky Tail.
Kevin, I'm putting out there's 2 stations on lock.
So nobody seems to have
They're likely to be heading to the dam, you think?
lots of chatter throwing me off what I'm saying here on the radio.
I think so too. That's the data accident.
Andrew, when he sits in dust, he always says he loves himself some geophagy, just eating of sand to get minerals from it. It's what animals do. But he always makes that comment if we're sitting in dust. Because you can taste it, you can get a mouthful of dust. Yeah, so a lion's gestation period is around 3.5 months, so somewhere around 110 days, but it does range around that number. And I guess you would typically, in terms of number of cubs, they can have anything up to, the highest number I've ever seen is 5. But I think they can have up to 6 cubs. Now that would be a real good feat if a mom can raise 6 cubs. But typically you'd rarely see females with 3 cubs. And that's probably your average. But I have seen litters of 5. But you never know if they lose one in the first week or 2. You typically only start seeing them in reserves that have good off-roading availability or opportunities, and guides know where den sites are and they follow up quite regularly on those den sites. You kind of, mostly, it's not common to find cubs younger than sort of 2 weeks. And in most systems you probably won't see them until they're a few months old and they're starting to move around a little bit more rather than being kept in dens. It allows, well, I don't know, allows is probably the wrong word, but there's a moment in a lifespan of cubs litter that you probably won't know exactly how many were born. So you mostly see 3 in a litter.
Poole, we didn't copy you, but yes, it's working now.
So end of October, November, December, January. So you're probably looking beginning of February, middle of February to have cubs. So I would say the first 2 weeks of February is probably our window. If it was successful, I know these lions are, or Nioleti especially, she's on contraception through hormone administration. But if they were mating, she would have been an estrus. Hormone suppression and birth control for wildlife often results in them not coming into estrus. So the fact that they were mating indicates that she was in, well, there's a good indication that she was in estrus. So we shall find out. First 2 weeks of February.
entrance at Horse Camp, or can we go in there?
I'll leave that to Kevin.
Poole, Kevin says please stay away from Bush Camp.
All right, let's carry on. We could zoom in from just on the end of the airstrip here. Which was nice. We didn't want to get closer to them as they're in the middle of Boskamp, so we're on the road pretty much. Let's go this way down towards Sequoia and see if we can get a better look at the lionesses. That was a nice look at the two males. Let's go see. Now we can see if Nialeti has linked up with the rest of the pride, which would be quite nice. The two boys are together. There's a good chance that she's left him and has linked up with the pride. Just waiting for a gap on the radio. Stations, I'm keen to respond to the lions at Sequoia Dam, about 5 hours.
Station, I'm putting out of these Ellis here to the first flying. They slowly heading towards Sequoia Dam. Two station on left bank.
Is this the right way?
Can anyone copy me? Ida?
This is Waterbuck, so let's rather go straight to the lions.
Ida, I receive you 4 out of 5.
Fine, thank you. Can someone update me on how many vehicles you have in Lowveld at the moment, please?
Toward the 647 vehicle of Leverage of Lava.
I'm heading to Sequoia Dam. I don't know who is in charge of the fighting there. Let me know if I can approach or not within 15 minutes.
Looking at area.
Coming. Good road.
There's a plane flying quite low there. Now let's see, has Nialeti linked up with her pride? That's the question. The boys have linked up. Oh, there's a plane flying around, circling here. I think she's linked up with the pride. That's going to be my bet. We're going to see all 5 of them together. It's been a while since they were all together. Oh, 2 days in a row at Sequoia Dam. No, Victoria was here yesterday. Oh, the question is, where are they? There are 2 vehicles there. Maybe they're at the inlet. We'll ask Kevin if he knows where they are. Let's see. Good afternoon. How you doing? All good. How you doing? All right.
So that side, if you want to go to the fence.
And the lions?
The lions are just
In the inlet?
On the other side, yeah.
Okay. I'll go around.
On the inflow on the other side.
Okay. I'll go around to
Go
the...
around behind you, you can go across the track.
Yeah.
and get to
Okay. Both the males are at Boskamp.
it. Okay.
Okay. So they're at the inflow into the dam, so we should get them there. It might get busy here, especially if those elephants appear. So let's go see the lions before the elephants swoop in. There is a brown hooded kingfisher. You get it there, Basil. It's framed so nicely by the arched. This is why it's difficult to get birds on camera, Francie, if you're watching. Don't know if she is. She's probably still at work or on her way home. It flew away. Oh, there it is, but it's in a trickier spot. We might see it there. Yeah, lots of trees in front of it, but there's a brown-hooded kingfisher. Yeah, I can hear a car coming up behind me, so let's carry on. It was sitting in such a nice spot just now. Oh, there's another car. Like I said, it's going to get busy here. Good afternoon.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good.
Good.
Elephants are just around the corner.
Okay, I'm going to go see the lions and then maybe...
Are they visible? We tried to get there, but...
No, not. Okay, I'll try. See. Got the camera long. Can zoom in. Okay, cheers, eh? Sounds like the Ellies are coming. Maybe we can just sneak a view of the elephants if they do hit the water from the inlet. That could be quite nice. While everybody else watches at the top, so we don't crowd them. Five lions or 4 lions? Now it sounds like it's not so easy to see them.
6 a.m. for Blowveld, sector number 7.
So if they were challenging to see, I wonder where they are.
Look with the male cheetahs in your house.
Okay, they're not up there.
Hey, Byron?
Where are they? I feel like something's rolling around underneath me. Maybe you have to see them from the other side. Can you see anything there, Basil, with the camera? Oh, this water's all dried up here. There's no tails lying there, hey?
Especially with the 2 minutes sometimes, and I please approach, that's out.
Okay, I'm gonna have some water. It's hot. I haven't had a drink yet.
Copy, thank you.
I'm also on my way very close to the airstrip. Are you still at the same location?
Basil, Carol and Mary are saying that you're doing well at getting the birds on camera these days. So well done. Zoom drive tomorrow will be the same time. And I think tomorrow we'll discuss about moving it. There was no conclusion on those times.
Not at Chico Dam with the ladies?
Yeah, nobody's with the elephants at this stage. We're hoping they get to Pico Dam, but there's nobody there, but there's already 4 vehicles there.
Can I go to Chico Dam? I would like to come there.
Yeah, the lines are in the inflow of Pico Dam, so maybe you want to go there first. So when you come to Pico Dam, instead of going left to the wall, go right, and you go down to the river, then you should find a line there, and you should be able to see the elephants from there.
Kevin, Gareth, Kevin.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where about on the inflow are the lions line up, and what's the best view?
Yeah, you've got to go the right way is to go through the crossing from the southern side, head onto the northern bank, and then follow that track that's just the other side of that, on the northern side, and follow that down until you get near the water.
Copy. Okay, so that is from here. Let me just put the 4-wheel drive on. You're going to drive this until you almost get to the water. It might be a bit bumpy. Are you ready for bumpy, Basil? I can't believe anybody else has driven here. Do you think you have a log on the bottom? I said I didn't really want to get stuck here. In case this is soft still, because I can see it is still soft. So they said you drive this until you almost get to the water, but I'm not driving in there. All of a sudden we'll start sinking. And I can't see where another car is driven on the... Nobody else has driven there. I feel like maybe we have a log underneath us. Something dashing around. Let's see, there's another road up here. Nobody else has driven there, that's for sure.
So if you went down your route onto the train.
Yes. I can't see it. This. Maybe just shove that there. Okay, they're not driving there. Let's go around the other side. Sounds better. I think Basil was right. It was that water bottle. It's just going to take us to the edge of the water, Basil. Is it? Oh, is this the dam? I don't know where these lions are then. There's no track that goes in the inflow. Ah, okay. I thought we were at the dam, but we're not, at the wall. Okay, so there's two inflows. I only thought there was the one, but this is a little drainage line. See, I haven't even been here. Learning all the time. Still things to learn about this reserve. Where was Brent off-roading with the cheetahs? Was it here? Drink. I think maybe you're on leave, which is with Andrew. Oh! Impala
5 minutes out.
shooting out of there. Now there's another car. We might not get the best angle. I think those lions probably gave that Impala a fright as it was coming down to have a drink. Hello. How you doing? Can you see the lions?
No, I was coming for the elephants,
Ah,
but Kevin was saying that the lions were, I think, just outside.
yeah, I was there now. I can't see them, so I was hoping that they were here.
Yeah, that's why, because I saw you coming, I said, okay, he's coming, I think that maybe he haven't seen anything, and I can't go to check it.
And then Impala just ran straight out of here, so.
So maybe they were there and they came to drink, maybe they're behind you. I'm not too sure.
Do you mind if I go to the edge of the water and have a look? Is that fine? Okay, thank you. Right. There's something still bashing around under my seat, I think. I can't see the lions. I think they're lying in a difficult spot, everybody.
Gareth for Kevin.
Go, Kevin.
The lines are, so you see that big tree to your right behind you, they're over the other side of that sign, over 50 meters.
Copy.
You can hear the elephants in the drainage line now below the dam wall, so they haven't followed the road round.
Copy. Okay, let's see. Is there a way to off-road in here? I don't know if we're gonna get a nice spot in here. Kevin says that the lions are lying just on the other side. I think it's a weeping bird being. Yo. It's exactly where that Impala came from. Is there a way? Should we go on that game trail there, Basil? This might be wide enough for our little car. It's gonna go hands. You see this? I think I can see ears. Yo. Maybe I can't. I can just see a rock. think we've got ourselves a little spot here. This is the joys of a small little car. It's nimble to get into spots where the bigger cars can't go.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul. Yeah, I think the yellow river comes off the western fence. I think it's the elephant track here.
Yeah, taking a pulling out of the two main on guard, straight A, along the fence line, taking on top.
Now, Terence, you must listen. If other people are using the radio, please don't use the radio until they're finished. So go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, I can see them.
Sorry, we found in here now. It's on, I think it's yellow river. Yeah, they're obviously spread out of it. I can hear one in the damage zone not far from the dam, but they're mostly hitting the flow from that zone.
Got them, Basil.
Okay, we'll be able to see those lines. Yeah, the lines you can get to, they just a bit of you got to keep going with Inyala route and go past the Inyala trace point, and then you go past that old reservoir down into the river, cross through the riverbed and up on the other side, and then take the first right as you cross the river.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go all the way down here. I can. There's only 4 that I can count. There they are, everybody. It took us a little while to find them. And a little bit of off-roading got us here. Is the car shouting? Groaning at us. What's going on? I've never heard that sound before. The car's making some funny noises at me. Hello Mauricio, you joined right at a good time. We've just managed to find the lions in a bit of a tricky spot because of the inflow into Sequoia Dam. What's that sound, Basil? Let me make the car level. Might just not give us the greatest view of the lions, but there you go, it's not making a noise anymore. Oh, it is. Interesting. I'm going to go further back. And make the bonnet come down. Was I on a, might have been on that log. There you go, it's not making that sound again. It is. What is that? That's very weird. The car's still making some funny sounds while we sit with these lions, try and figure it out. It sounds like it's coming from the front. We might be here for a long time, Basil. The car doesn't start just now, it's completely off. Hey? Okay. Yeah, there's only 4. So I don't know where the 5th one is, unfortunately. I don't know what the other route to get here was. Oh, they're listening to something. Something coming down through the bushes here. They're also pretty well fed. I don't think they're going to be going anywhere on a hot day like today. They might just sleep it out here. Not going to move. Really nice to see them all here lying in the mud. No, Carol, I don't want to break down. But the car's making a really funny noise. I'd hate to, but there's nothing like leaking. And we didn't do any serious off-roading. There was like one tree. Can't smell anything funny. It's very weird. You think it's four-wheel drive? Maybe it is four-wheel drive, but I don't think so. Let's reverse a bit. There's no paddle up there, is there? No? Maybe it was the four-wheel drive. Nope, starting again. That's weird. There's no puddle. It's not like we've punctured the radiator and we're hearing water dripping. I've never heard a car do this when you switch the engine off. It's almost like it's groaning, like it's on a slope, but we've changed direction a couple of times. Yeah, she's probably just enjoying some alone time, Mary. So these girls lying here, probably in the shade of this big, what is it, a bird bean? Maybe on the bank of the river here. And now that the sun is set, they're enjoying maybe a slightly cooler sand where the dam / river, the inlet here into Sequoia Dam has all dried up. But it's maybe slightly cooler than the surrounding sand because there's still moisture just below the surface. So it's not like the other sand around that is baked hard. It might be slightly cooler where they've decided to lie there. And the big tree that is to their west would have cast a nice big shadow over them as the sun went lower in the sky. Yeah, I don't think there was any other way here than the way that we managed to get here by. Because even if we had driven up the riverbed, we would have hit water and we wouldn't have been able to get around the corner. And I don't see a better off-roading route than the one that we came on. So Nia Letty is not here. We've just got 4 lionesses. I wonder where she is. She's still with the boys, but was lying somewhere away from them, and they were in the open that we could see them, because we didn't get close to them because we didn't want to go into Boskamp properly. Is that an elephant? Elephants haven't made it to the dam just yet, but they're breaking trees. Proper breaking trees. I don't know if we'll see them because of where they are and where we are. Sitting with these flat lions. It's not a bad way to finish our first day of the week. Or if you are in the west, start the first day of your week. We started with the 2 male cheetahs, and then we saw the 2 male lions, and now we're starting with 4 of the Rietspruit girls. On a hot Monday in the Lowveld of South Africa. So yesterday they were at Leopard Dam, today they're at Sequoia Dam, moving about. I think that impala that is trying to come down here for a late afternoon drink just now, probably on this game trail that either the game trail that we took or the one that's directly opposite these lions, got itself a massive fright when it saw the lions. Yeah? I'm sure as it approached, the lions lifted their heads up, and the impala thought this is a terrible, terrible life choice, and scampered out across the road. Not too sure when she left Elvis, to be honest. So they were mating somewhere on Leadwood about 2-3 days ago, Janine. And lions will mate for 3, 4, maybe 5 days continuously. But I think today is the first day that they've been seen together, the 2 males. And Kinky Tail was with these 4 girls that we've got here around camp on, when was it, Friday and Saturday and yesterday. And yesterday they moved to Leopard Dam, so it was the 5 of them, these 4 girls and Kinky Tail. And now today he's linked up with his brother Elvis. So I would assume that Elvis and Nialeti were northern parts of Blowbank, maybe on Leadwood still yesterday, and it was a super hot day yesterday. So they would have moved last night, and he's linked up with his brother, but she hasn't yet found the girls. So what's it, like maybe 3-4 kilometers away from here? But we don't exactly know where they were. I don't know where exactly they were last seen together. But Leopard Dam is sort of 2.5 kilometers away from here. And the northern boundary of Blowbank, southern boundary of Leadwood, is 4.5 to 5 kilometers away from where we're currently sitting. So last night they moved far, but I mean 5 kilometers for a lion is hardly anything.
I mean, if you want to get to the lines, you should have turned straight off to the river crossing and followed the river bank. Yeah, we did. We came down, but it cost us a bit much to get to the south. So this is another practice. Yeah, you can get in there. I haven't done it for a while, but I know you can. Yeah, the front wheel started going down.
So yeah, they moved last night. Poole, Gareth, Poole. There's a prominent game trail that goes south off of the road that goes to the sort of second smaller drainage line inlet into the dam. That's where I off-roaded down that game trail to gain access to the sighting of the lions. Yeah, I think it's unlikely that she will come today unless she's lying somewhere on top of this bank that we're next to on the river here. And there is a possibility that she's somewhere on top of the bank and we just can't see her. But it's been a hot day, so she wouldn't have been walking around today, and if anything she'll move tonight and maybe try and relocate the pride roaring. You might find that the males would have wanted to get back together because they've been apart, as they are one and one in territorial defense. Although this is a fenced game reserve, there are male coalitions around in other game reserves, and although they won't come into contact, they still feel like they need to assert their presence and roaring. And there's a radio message that there's some waterbuck coming down, so that'll be interesting to see what these lions do. I don't know exactly where they are. Maybe going to where we first tried to get access to these lions, that more open spot, before we turned around and started off-roading. So I think overnight so yeah, those two males, sorry, I got distracted there, would have roared last night and then found each other. It's better to be together than kind of be isolated, especially if you're in an open system as a male lion. You'll often go off on your own mating with lionesses, or males will split up and cover territory in different directions to scent mark and announce their presence in their territory, especially if they've been on a big kill and they cover ground like that separately, and then they'll want to link up as soon as possible, because a male lion on his own, surrounded by other coalitions of male lions, doesn't want to get isolated by himself, because often in this area, in the low, male lions will form coalitions of up to 5, even 6 males have been recorded to be bigger than that, but in general, you don't get coalitions or successful coalitions of one animal, two males. Often towards the end of a male's dominance, he might find that there's only 2 or 1 left, but most of the time that they've secured territory and prides, there were 3, 4, and 5 males. So you don't want males don't want to be isolated because they know that the threat is real. Younger coalitions that still have maybe a complement of 4 or 5 males, if they catch one on his own, it's not going to be very good. So you have these males have this instinct to get back together. So you might have found that happened quicker with the 2 boys, whereas the females near Letty is still trying to find the girls. Maybe they haven't been roaring. They did roar a lot when they're around Hace a couple of nights ago. You might see on Camp Cam, if you can go back that far, on Friday, Saturday, last night, drinking at Camp Cam. It is on Instagram, them in camp and roaring. So near Letty would have known that they were around Hace. She would have heard them. That sound, we can hear that sound from about 8 k's away. So definitely she would have heard them. But then they moved to Leopard Dam and now here, and I don't know if they were vocalizing last night. I'm sure the boys would have been, and then been able to find one another. So we'll see if we're found tomorrow. We don't have a drive tomorrow, but we have a Zoom drive in the morning. Be interesting to see where the bulk of the pride goes, where these 4 girls go. Some of them still look pretty full from their kill. I won't be surprised if they had a kill yesterday looking at them, or last night, early hours of this morning. But not all of them look extremely well fed. There's one that's lying at the back there that you can see, her back's to us, top right of frame. She could do with a little bit more food, unlike the female that we've had on the left of frame, who looks like she's pretty well fed still. Yeah, we have to find out. Maybe Wednesday afternoon we'll see if near Letty has linked back up with these 4 lionesses. Unless you join on tomorrow's Zoom drive, got to let us know soon if you will be joining on that. Janine, if you are interested in joining the Zoom drive, just send info@paintedDog.tv a message and we can give you the details there. There is a drive tomorrow morning. We're leaving at 5:45 South African time, or standard South African time. So 5:45. And who knows what the new day will have for us. I'll be taking that drive. What a time of day to be out driving about. It's nice. It's always exciting in the mornings. You don't know where the animals have moved overnight. You don't know what the roads are going to tell you with the tracks. Often driving around in the morning, you read the roads, find out all the happenings of the night before the day has gone on and cars have driven over most of the roads and most of the tracks that would have been left on the road. So it's really nice in the mornings to be out on game drive. You don't know what you're going to find, you don't know where they've gone. So it's always exciting. The afternoons, you more often than not kind of have an idea as to where the animals are. They've been found in the morning, but the mornings you have to work a little bit harder sometimes. Oh, Carol, nice and early wake up for you. Shame, times have changed. Well, Mary, you're getting off lightly with a 8:45 drive. Or maybe not. Depends what time your bedtime is. But 8:45 at night is not too bad. Well, Janine, send us an email. Let you know the details there. And maybe we'll see you on tomorrow's Zoom drive. But it has been a really good afternoon. I've enjoyed it. We've had an afternoon of the big cats of the Rietspruit. And now I hope we can get ourselves home. Hopefully the car behaves itself. It stopped making that noise. So hopefully that's a good sign. I'm sure we'll find out shortly. But if I'm not seeing you tomorrow morning on the Zoom drive, I'll see you again on Wednesday afternoon. I think I'm going to be taking that as well. We might have Victoria joining before she sets off on her private safari next week. So maybe you'll see both of us on Wednesday for a double-pronged attack on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. But for now, good night from all of us at South Africa. Bye-bye.